News at 10 starts right now.
You're watching Fox News at 10, Western Oregon's only 10 o'clock news.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Fox News at 10. I'm Natasha Chughtai. Sacred Heart's Riverbend Hospital held its ribbon cutting and welcome ceremony today, but don't expect any medical help there yet. So what gives? Alyssa Harrington is live in Springfield with that answer. Alyssa?
Well, Natasha, 7 years in the making, and here it is, Sacred Heart's Riverbend facility. But today's event was just a sneak peek, so don't be fooled. The hospital opens for public service on August 10th. If you come here before then, you're out of luck. What you're seeing is a ribbon cutting from earlier today. That usually signifies a grand opening, but in this case, it's a little different. Today's dedication ceremony at the hospital marked the completion of the institution and gave the public the first look inside. But this is just a look. The actual hospital does not open to the public for service until August 10th. If you show up, they won't let you inside.
If they came to the door and they needed help, then what we would do is we would certainly attend to them outside of the building, but there's limited access to the building. So if somebody came here, I mean, I'm assuming we'd call 911, which is what we've done before.
To avoid any confusion, we've broken down what exactly is happening next at the hospital. Public tours continue through the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Over the next few weeks, the facility will be completely sanitized. More equipment will be added, and of course, there will be some last-minute quality checks. The official opening date is set for August 10th. That will include transferring patients and records. Now, if you do need emergency medical care, workers advise you to call your primary care physician, to visit one of the other centers on Willamette or Hilliard Street, or to call 911. In Springfield, I'm Alyssa Harrington.
More than 1,200 people attended the ribbon-cutting ceremony today. Tonight, new details about the gruesome murder of a Springfield woman. Trisha Jo Meadows was found dead in her apartment, and an autopsy showed she died from blunt force trauma to the head. 2 days later, police arrested Carl Lee Meadows on a parole violation. He's now been charged with Trisha's murder. We first told you about the case of 53-year-old Trisha Jo Meadows back in January. This week, an affidavit from a Springfield police officer was filed in Lane County Court. Kim Quintero has more on the documents, outlining how the officer says Trisha Meadows was murdered and the motive behind the crime.
I saw Ms. Meadows' body lying on a reclining chair in the living room. There was obvious trauma to her head and a large rock resting on her left shoulder. Springfield police officer David Lewis walked in on a grisly scene one cold January day after a Lane County mental health employee found the body of 53-year-old Trisha Jo Meadows. According to Lewis, there was a large amount of blood visible on the recliner and floor, as well as what appeared to be blood spattering on the ceiling above the body. The murder had a community searching for answers.
We haven't seen her for like 4 or 5, almost 6 days, I think. So I was wondering what was going on.
2 days later, Carl Lee Meadows was arrested for Trisha's murder. Trisha's son, Mike Stanley, says he's still questioning the relationship between Carl and his mother.
None of the family really know. She claimed that he was related, and I believe like a second cousin.
But Officer Lewis is certain about the motive behind the murder. The day Carl Meadows was arrested, his friend Lana Louder went searching for him. That's when authorities caught up with her. Louder said Carl confessed to killing Trisha before fleeing the scene on a mountain bike, because he perceived that Trisha Meadows had got her fired from her job as an apartment manager.
He tried to find the good in everybody, and I think there's some people that just don't have any good in them.
I'm Kim Quintero reporting.
Carl Meadows' trial is scheduled for September 30th. Tonight, investigators say they're unable to determine the cause of a blaze that destroyed a Cottage Grove landmark. The barn next to the old Mill Farm store was completely charred in a fire early Thursday morning. The building was about 120 years old and even made an appearance in Buster Keaton's silent film shot in Cottage Grove. The owners say they've had overwhelming support from the community.
And we're just staggered by the kindness and, you know, the best of human beings.
An investigation has not yet determined a cause. A University of Oregon football player who died after jumping off a bridge into the Mackenzie River will be buried on Monday in California. Todd Doxey died after he became unable to swim in the cold water. Friends and family have created a website in Doxey's honor. Comments include, quote, "There's something about the death of a young athlete that seems more shocking, harder to understand, maybe because we see them as strong and full of life." Some bad news for coffee lovers. 25 Starbucks stores will be closing their doors in Oregon and Washington. 6 stores will shut their doors in Oregon. 3 of them are in southeast Portland, along with locations in Beaverton, Hillsboro, and Tillamook. The high cost of gas and food may be taking a bite out of the lunch hour. It seems more people are brown bagging it for lunch instead of eating out. Folks we talked to say they can save a bundle, both for food and fuel, by packing a lunch instead of hitting the deli or fast food restaurant.
The cost is a fraction of eating out, and I can make the same thing at home en masse.
I'm just being careful right now, watching what we do, and in September, when I have to raise prices due to all my increases, which are obvious out there, I'm going to see how that affects things as well as the economy.
Delis like Barry's Espresso report about a 10% decline in sales, but say that may be due to summer. So we want to know, how are you saving money as everything gets more and more expensive? Email your comments to me at the address on your screen. They could be used in a future newscast. They pay their rent on time every month, yet they're being evicted. It's a dilemma numerous families in our area face today when landlords don't pay their mortgages. The Askew family near Portland paid more than $4,000 in rent and fees and then paid their rent on time every single month. But 2 weeks ago, they got a foreclosure notice from the bank holding the note on their house. The same thing happened to Lindsay Brock Moore, even though she paid more than $2,200 a month, enough to cover the mortgage on this home where she lives with her husband and 5 children.
Just to be told that I have to walk away, I don't feel that that's legal or right by any means to do that to a family.
We've been calling them for 2 months.
Yeah. And no return of call?
No.
We found a landlord today who admits he wasn't paying the mortgage, even though he was taking money to cover it every month. The FBI says a passenger on American Airlines flight from Boston to Los Angeles was removed from the flight after it diverted to Oklahoma City. The passenger, stripped nude, got dressed and then tried to open an emergency exit door. Members of a soccer team helped subdue him. He's now undergoing a mental exam. Well, it's Friday, and you know what that means. Time to check out who came out on top of the Billboard Top 10. Let's take a listen.
Best believe she got that good thing. She my little hood thing. Ask around, they know us. They know that's mine. But baby, everybody know that.
The 7 things I hate about you. The 7 things I hate about you.
And I'm okay, but my watch sick. Yeah, my drop sick. Yeah, my clock sick. I can't tell the sun bells ringing. Roman cavalry choirs. I got a pocket full of sunshine. I got a love and I know that it's all mine. Oh,
You cut me open and I keep bleeding, keep bleeding.
And dance forever.
like a lollipop. Shot and say I'm like a lollipop. She say I'm
Think about how and I kissed a girl and I liked it. The taste of her cherry chapstick. I kissed a girl just to try it. I hope my boyfriend don't mind.
Still ahead, big plans this weekend. Tim's got a check of what the weather will be like coming up after the break. Plus, Barack Obama's trip to Iraq and Afghanistan stirs controversy. The latest details when Fox News at 10 continues.